Here's the box that my Orgreenic Flipjack came in, and yes, I know it says it's a pancake maker. So why am I about to demonstrate how it can be used for omelets? Well, actually it can be used to cook anything that requires flipping around, and that opens some new possibilities in your kitchen. Another thing you'll get if you think outside the box is that even though the promo features say it doesn't need oil or butter, it doesn't mean you can't use either or both for flavor. So after letting the temperature come up to cooking temp, I start with a dab or two of butter, swirl it around to coat the surface before adding the onions. You have to be a little careful about the amount of butter because it's going to be flipped, and if too much remains liquid, it will run, and usually in the wrong places. I tend to prefer the onions chopped for this method because you get more of them making contact with the pan and therefore cooking more evenly. I tamp them down and get them even and in contact with the surface. Over a medium to low flame, I look for the onions to soften with a little darkening to get the flavor from the onion that I like before adding the egg. The transparency of the egg tells you that this is an egg white omelet, which I do because of the very high cholesterol contained in the yolk. Unfortunately, you lose a lot of the egg flavor, but the veggies and seasoning can make up for it. Since I like my eggs to be fully cooked and not runny, I found that about 3 minutes on the first side is about the right cooking time at the number of 2 flame setting on my range, which gives me time to brew my coffee. Other additions that I use, depending on what I have around, includes chopped scallion, bell pepper, mushroom, chili pepper, and other veggies, either alone or in combination. Before I flip the omelet, I add my favorite seasoning, stir it into the still liquid egg white, and whatever other ingredients. This time I add some chopped tomato. With the first side done, it's time to flip, so I close the lid. What I try to do in flipping is raise it up swiftly and then flip, trying to use gravity to keep the omelet in place. Once I get it back down over the flame, I move it around just to make sure the whole omelet has dropped to the lower pan. I don't want to open the lid without first doing that because clingers can ruin an omelet. After that, I do open the top pan, and voila! This is just about right to me. Now let's look at another variation. I had accidentally bought a small can of chopped green chili pepper, which I don't prefer, and decided to use it in another omelet. So before my first flip, I added that with seasoning and again fresh tomato. Now I'll flip that, and while the second side is cooking, I add some delicious cheese and close the lid. By the time the second side is cooked, the cheese will be fully melted, and I'll have my version of a flipjack chili relleno, Orgreenic style. All I need to do now is turn the heat off, slide the omelet onto my plate, and enjoy. I think that this little bit of organic ingenuity adds new possibilities for you to be creative with your omelets, pancakes, hot sandwiches, and whatever else comes to mind. Just get the basic cooking timing down and you'll think of new variations. Happy flipping and bon appetit!